Talha from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Sheikh?
𝐷 السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, can I have your number before I ask a question to you?
What is your question?
My question is, you know the hadith on the, you know the hadith on Umar radiallahu anhu, when the Prophet asked for a pen and paper and then to write something, yeah, to write, yeah. I hear from the Quranists, they say that that the hadith says that the Prophet said someone wanted to write something, but he's meant to be an illiterate according to the verses in the Quran. So that means it's false, something like that. That's what they say.
Akhi, again and again and again, I tell the youth and the youngsters to acquire knowledge properly from the original sources, from the Quran, from the Sunnah, with the understanding of the three favorite generations. This is important because you can't understand the Quran and the Sunnah with your intellect, which is impaired. So it has to be through the understanding of the three favorite generations. And you take this from scholars of Islam, trusted scholars from Islam. Look at you coming and saying that the Quranists, those who reject the Sunnah and the Hadith, what else would you need to refute such people more than their rejection of Hadith? This is an error and a deficiency in their own intellect. They're not totally sane when they reject the Hadith, which the Quran itself they claim to abide by, orders them to follow the Hadith, to follow the Sunnah, that to understand the Quran through the Sunnah, because you cannot have Islam without the Sunnah. Full stop. Quran is not sufficient to be understood and practiced, is to practice Islam without the Sunnah. Where in the Quran it says Fajr has 2 rak'ahs, Maghrib 3, and the rest are 4. And each unit has 1 ruku' and 2 sujood. You have to have the Sunnah. So you can't learn your religion by listening to such doubts and whispers of deviant cults and sects, because you will be having a corrupt aqeedah, and that would go with you to the grave, unfortunately being like them. Secondly, the hadith which you are referring to was at the time when the Prophet was ill on his deathbed. He wanted them to bring a paper and a pen, not to write himself, because he was illiterate as described in the Quran, and as described by himself, and as described by his companions. So who in his right mind would understand that the Prophet at the time of his deathbed wanted to write something? He wanted to dictate something. Write the following, XYZ. Who wrote this? It was Ali, but who actually had it written? The Prophet ﷺ. He ordered it. So when Ali reads it, it says so and so and so. Who wrote this? The Prophet. He dictated it. He did not actually write it. So I don't know where these guys are getting these ideas from, but it is frustrating. Or am I getting old? It could be both. But you guys have to learn your religion properly from Quran and Sunnah, with the understanding of the three favorite generations, from trusted scholars, not from TikTok, not from Instagram or YouTube, not from Tom, Dick, and Harry. Otherwise, again, it will go with you to your grave.